Hello Flosstube, my name is Kristen and this is a channel about cross stitch. And as always, I want to start with a thank you to returning subscribers and viewers. You are appreciated more than you know, and welcome to anybody new. Today is July 1st, and I'm a little stunned that June went by as fast as it did. We were just busy, and therefore I didn't stitch as much as I thought I would, which is kind of a bummer. But I did get some, I got one project I didn't get to touch that I had planned on it, and I finished nothing. So I'm going to stop saying I think I'm going to finish this one next month, because I just jinx myself when I end up finishing nothing. And I only have a tiny bit. I wouldn't even really say it's haul. I had a fabric that I ordered for my Joan Elliott's Madonna and Child that came. So I'm going to show you that. I've got one thrift store find that I was a little stunned that I found, and I'll show you that. And I'll just show you that now. I don't know when to just start. Well, just as a side too, I did get a new camera. So hopefully this is clear enough and it's not doing that old weird focusing thing that my other ones were doing. And it is a wider though, so now you see more of my disastrous side of mine. This is our bedroom. It's just safer for me to be in here. I sometimes will stitch in the living room, but you know, my dogs, they like to be all over me and sometimes eat things they shouldn't, so I've kind of had this like little safe spot here. So this is like my stitchy stuff, and I've got my weights and stuff behind me. This is like my corner. And then yes, that is a piano, which I know is weird to have in a bedroom, but the rest of the house is small. The rest of the house is just like your average little ranch. It's cute, it's all open concept, but because it's open concept, I just have windows, which is nice because it's bright. But I didn't have a place for that when we moved in here, so we just had the movers roll it down the hall and stick it here, and it's been there. It's been there for a long time. Yeah. Someday I said if we ever won a million gazillion dollars, I would just refinish that poor thing and learn how to play it. So, yeah. I would be okay if it went, but it's got sentimental value to my husband, so it is going to stay there. Plus all the kids, when they were little, they all pounded on it, and it's good memories there, so it's, you know, it's all right. Anyway, sorry, a little bit of a side rant there. So this is the fabric that I got for Madonna and Child. This is Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers painted 28 count Lugana After the Rain. And I'll open it all the way up. Whoop! Helps if I open it up the right side. So it's got this pretty curtain of leaves, and then there's some falling leaves just here or there, nothing overwhelming. If you look at the website, you'll also see that there's white raindrops painted on it, but she will customize it for you if you email her. And I just thought with the beads and the birds, I don't know, I just didn't think I wanted the white raindrops there. So we'll see if I can manage to place her correctly so that her head doesn't go all the way up into. I'm hoping I can just get her to stop right underneath the curtain of leaves. And I may not do the halos, just to keep it really simple. It's all about whether or not I can place her correctly. So we'll see. And those are their flosses. So it looks really cool in the fabric viewer. So we'll see. I might save that one for maybe a Christmas start. That seems like that would be appropriate. So I don't really have any other. I did count up all the votes from my last video, and the Rose of Sharon had the most votes for my next Mirabilia start, or start of that sort. So I will be, when I finally get Lilith finished, I will be starting Rose of Sharon, whenever that is. We'll see how that goes. And then I popped into the Salvation Army. This is only the second time I've ever been there. The first time is when I found all the magazines I did for my giveaway. And I thought I remembered that they had some more cross-stitch stuff, so I just thought I'd pop in just to see. And there was like, the craft section was like almost empty. And I waltzed over to the book section, and I was looking at the books, and at the top of this weird shelf, I saw this corner of something. I thought, well, no, that can't be anything. And it was an actual full, unopened Dimensions Gold kit sleigh ride. And I just couldn't pass it up because the price was right. I haven't tried to use the destash site yet. I still have the whole bin of stuff from that marketplace that I got that I need to get rid of. So it's just I don't have any room. I even bought new shelves and tried to organize over here, and I still don't have any room. Anyway, I just thought that was cool. So you never know what you might stumble across. So in June, these are stacked the wrong way because, yes, I already did this video once, so this is the second time again. Although this time I didn't have anything go flying, but it's just technology and I are not friendly. Anyway, okay, so I did spend some time, I think, maybe 4 or 5 days on White Raven's TARDIS Galaxy. And this, I'm struggling with this one. This is the 32 count. That it's pretty, and I like the feel of it. I like the look of it. It's just too small for me. And it's not that I can't see it because I've used a magnifier, but half of these flosses are CXC, which is probably a mistake for me because they're fluffier. But even the DMC I'm having a little bit of a hard time with. So I'm not super enjoying it. I like it. I like the way it looks. I've definitely made a bunch of calculation errors anyway. So that's why I actually started. I came down here and worked around. Oh, I do have a picture of where I was. Sorry. I'm trying a ring light too, so I don't know how this is going to work on the tablet, but that's where I was. So I came down that side and worked around the bottom, figuring I could just go around the mistakes I made in here and then work my way back up. But then I also managed to do something wrong in here. But that's okay. It's so different colors kind of woven in there. I don't think it's going to matter. I know I said I was hoping to get that one done, but as you can see, I didn't. So that's that. And then I worked on Ink Circle's Elemental Fire Dragon. I think I worked on this one for maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. And let me show you where I was. I was hoping, my goal was to get a quarter of it done, and I did at least get that done. This is where I was. So I worked over here and there's a whole nother dragon in here that I finished. And this is on Weeks Dye Works 18 count Earthen with Weeks Dye Works brick. So I got this whole side dragon done and then some of the flames. I really do like these. They're variegated, so I'm trying really hard to, just do the full cross and move along and then not have any crossing over in the open areas. So I'm trying not to drag threads around. And when I say I stitched for however many days, it really was on the Q-snap for that long, but I'm sure many of you don't get to stitch as much as I'd like. So Lilith was on the longest. I think I had her on the Q-snap for like 12 days, but I really only get to stitch maybe 5 out of 7, and even some of those days are only like a half an hour to an hour sometimes. So this was John Shannon's Mini Day Night. This is the one I'm going to try to be faithful every month and at least stitch on a little. And I was trying to get his face done a little bit more. And then I'll show you where I was. I have this section, and I did get his face done. And I'm trying to work down to where it's a little more detailed here, just because I'm so curious to see what that's going to look like. Excuse me. Sorry. And this is where I was when I started. I'm not sure. The good thing about this camera is it's not going in and out of focus a ton, but I'm not sure if it's focusing enough for you guys to see. That's where I was. And I did do, I gotta get to my page, I did about 554 stitches on him. So you can see his face. It's his profile. He's sleeping. So that's his eyes closed, his mouth, his nose. And I think I got all of that filled in. Oops, there's even a little more down there. And that's 25 count 1/1. And this is my Lilith. Lilith and I are having a timeout for a little while. I think I might pick her back up in August, but I need a break. I need a break from her. Her tail's just way bigger than I thought, and I I know I said a couple of times, oh, I think I'll finish her the next time I take her out, but nope. I still love her though, even though she's going in a timeout. And this is Sweet Stash 28 count hyacinth linen. Oh, sorry. I am kind of all over the place this morning. This is where I was when I last showed her. So I just really started dipping into that tail. So I mean, I did get a good chunk of her tail done. There are some spots in here that I'm not totally thrilled with my neatness and symmetry, and I don't know. Every once in a while I just get a color that I seem to fight with for whatever reason, and I try to, you know, take out the cross, put it in a different way, railroad it, and sometimes I don't know. I wish I was perfect, but I'm not. But she is going away for a while. She's going away for a while. And then, so for July, I am definitely getting this guy started today. This is Jaws. And I charted this one on Flosscross. You just pop up the website and you can input your own picture and it'll show you the, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not the, yeah, the word's going on in my head, so I'm just going to skip over that. Sorry. Yeah, not the rendering. That's not the word I was looking for. You know, what you think it's going to look like. Good grief, Kristen. All right, this is where I am. So I'm just at the tip of his nose. And I'm hoping to just kind of, I'm also going to try to, well, I got threads everywhere. He wouldn't work on my Pattern Keeper or my Markup RXP, so I'm just using Zoto. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open them up on my phone, and then so I can go back and forth a little bit more because I don't want any page lines, especially right in the middle of his nose. So we'll see. But 4th of July for us here in the U.S. I don't know where everybody's viewing from. I have to watch Jaws around the 4th of July because that's where it takes place in that movie, and that movie's got a special place in my heart. My grandfather and I used to watch that together quite a bit. So. And I'm also going to work on Mirabilia's The Kiss. And I started in the center of her dress and then started to work my way down. I am going to try to fix my sewing machine because I need to zigzag some of these. Some of it I use painter's tape, but I'd really rather not put tape on them. I had thought I might try to start going up, but now that I'm down this far, I think I'm just going to try to finish the bottom section. And this is 28 count Apple Blossom linen, which was the called for linen. And I've got all DMC for this one. And then I did sub out the beads for Delicas, so we'll see when I get to that point how that is. Then I'm also going to work on Dusky Stitches Hobbit Door. And I'm using a Fabric Flare, I think it's 18 count, kind of green, woodsy background sort of fabric. And I'm swapping out, pardon me, all the blacks and grays for browns. And, oops, this is where I am. Let's make it smaller. There's a lot, I feel like there's just a lot of color changes over here, so I will start over here, and then when I get tired of changing out, I'll work over to where some of the more solid stitching is. Oops, get that one folded. And then I'm going to try to get a few days on Alien. He was part of my plans for June, but I did not get to him. And this one I am doing on 28 count, 2 over 1 half cross, which, as I've mentioned before, I don't totally love, but that's the way I started it, so that's the way I'm going to finish it. This is another one where I start over here where it's confetti heavy, and then pop over to where I can get a little bit more solid stitching done. I thought about trying to come down to see the cat, but I don't want to start wandering around too far. at least a couple days on him. We'll see. My plans have not been going as planned the last couple of months. And then I thought I would show you guys, I just have this whole stack of like mostly freebie charts, which I think you can go, I mean, you can go on any, most designers' websites have a couple of free ones available, but if you join Facebook groups, sometimes you're able to get some sporadic free charts, which is kind of cool. And then I'm going to show you also, I think it's okay to show you, I was part of Nora Corbett's Patreon last year because I knew she was going to do a dragon, and I wanted to make sure that I had that. And there was 4 charts for last year. And that's about, I'm not in the Patreon anymore, but that's like $25 a month, I think, for that. And I thought it was kind of cool to just kind of see her creative process. I thought was really neat. But I'll show you those to you too. So this is one that I got off as part of the Joan Elliott Facebook group. I think it must have been around Christmas. And this was the Wee Victorian Carolers. Those are cute. I don't usually do a ton of seasonal stitching, but this might be nice to do. And then this one was a company called Scarlet. I'm not sure if it's Quince, Scarlet Quince. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, guys. They have beautiful, beautiful, like fine art charts. They're just, most of them are full coverage. This one's not because they have their own a program for doing charts. But I really don't want to try to figure out another program. So I think I was able to open it up. I couldn't open it up in Pattern Keeper, but I may have been able to open up a Markup RXP or maybe just Zoto. I can't remember. I'd have to look. But this one was, so if you sign up and join, and you can try free charts on their software. And I thought this one was pretty. So that was a free one. And then I went to Make It Pink. I think because I saw somebody else's finish that I thought was neat. So I went over and looked. I can't remember if it's Etsy or if it's just Make It Pink. I think it might be an Etsy store. And there's some free ones on there too. And this was Stained Glass Rose, which of course makes me think of Beauty and the Beast. So I thought I would do that one at some point. And then I think all the rest of these I also got from the Facebook groups. So, oops, where am I here? Sorry, I'm trying to separate them. This one was Charting Creations Planet Earth, which I can only assume was maybe at Earth Day at some point. I don't remember. I should have wrote down when they put them up. And then when the pandemic happened, Long Dog Samplers put out their Pandemic for free. This one's pretty big. And I have looked at a lot of finishes online. It's beautiful. And some people are so creative. I really just thought it would be fun to have just one solid color, not have to think about it too much. So I picked a Picture This Plus, I think 18 count fabric. It's in my wish list on 123 Stitch. That was like a pale purple, and I thought I'd just get like a cone of 550, that really dark purple. I thought that might be kind of cool. And then I thought, oh, maybe you can get like a light gray opalescent and just use black. So I haven't decided. That's huge. This one's big. This one is 365 by 429 stitches. So I can't remember the size of the fabric that I have put away, but it's big. And then these last chunk are all Heaven and Earth designs that were on the Facebook group for free over the last, and sometimes she'll put one out, and it's only for a limited time, so if you happen to not go on that day, you might miss it. And I'm sure there is a way, and I'm probably, just because I'm not tech savvy, there's probably a way to view it before you download it. I almost feel guilty downloading it because I'm probably not going to stitch probably more than half of these. But I don't know how to do that. I just click the button and it just appears. But this is The Reprieve by Richard Green. This one and the next one just make my head spin thinking of the confetti that's probably in these. I can't really quite figure this one out. I can see the butterfly, but I can't quite figure out what the rest of that is. It's pretty colors though. And then this is Unicorn by Stephanie. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name because I butcher all these names. You guys can see it. That one's different. I have a unicorn, the Teresa Wenzel unicorn that I'm going to do at some point. This is Big Cats by Jerry LaFaro. This one was pretty recent. A pretty recent free one. This one's, I really like this one. This is Sailor's Ruin by Ann Stokes. Just, to me, that just feels, it's creepy and beautiful all at the same time. This one I do like. I'm not a big fan of yellow, but I do like fairies and I love books. I really like this one's cute. Fairy of Happy Endings by, yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that one either. Hopefully that you can see that. This one. This one I think I will do at some point. This is Deep Blue Sea by John Enright. I just think that's just a beautiful underwater scene. And then we have Quick Stitch Hazel's World Giraffe by Dakota Detweiler. Giraffes are cool. This one I like too. This is Mini Night Cafe by Leonid Efremov. I've seen a lot of his charts stitched up on the Facebook group. They're really, I just love the colors. This one's super cute. This is Autumn Dragon by Sheena Pike. And these last two were pretty new. Gryffindor Mouse has another name I'm not going to try to pronounce. Get him a little closer. He's super cute. And this one I believe is still on the website for free. Sheena Pike's Sea Turtle Mama. I love the colors in this one. Can't tell if that's clear enough for you guys. Be fun to pick fabric for that one. And then I've got the Nora Corbett Patreon charts. So this is the Rogue Dragon. This is the one I joined that Patreon for. He's different. I just wouldn't have thought, just going from the reds to the pinks and purples, I just think he's cool. I think I'm just going to stitch him as charted. And you can even see, you can see some of her creative process and sketches, and it's fun to watch them come to life. And then this is Spooky Cat. I love this one. I think I might, I know what I said about my spending freeze, but I'm going to that retreat in October, and I thought that might be a fun one to start at the retreat. So I might kit her up. And then this one, if you just Google image search this one, you'll see some of the finished ones. It's gorgeous finished. The Klimt tree. And then the fourth one of the year, oops, my tablet went off, was a blue bee, but I couldn't print a cover page because it only popped up just the chart, which of course I can't show you the chart. But this is what the blue bee would look like. He's kind of cool. So if anybody's interested in getting some Nora Corbett charts that you can't only get there, and you're really not supposed to give them away, or you certainly can't sell them. So I don't know if I'll join again. I might join again at some point, but I'm trying to pinch some pennies here. So I think that's kind of all I wanted. I went over my progress, my find at the Salvation Army, my plans, and then I'm not sure if I said this. I think I did say it. I said, again, I did this video once already. Rosa Sharon is going to be my next new start in a Mirabilia type of chart when I finish Lilith. I tallied up all the votes that you guys gave me from last month, and that one came in first, and then the Celestial Dragon came in second. And then I need to find Deborah Watkins. Deborah Watkins was the winner of the Christmas package that I had as a giveaway. So let's see if you can see that. Deborah Watkins, I'm looking for you. I'm not sure how to proceed, so if you can email me your address, I would love to ship that out to you. I guess what I'll probably do is if I don't hear from her by the time I do a July update, then I'll just pick another winner, I guess, from that video. But I hope I don't have to. So Deborah, please, anybody knows her, get her to send me her address so I can mail her package. And yeah, I think that's it. So happy 4th of July to my fellow people from the United States. And otherwise, I hope everybody has a really good month. And I will see you soon. Bye.